Hey everybody, welcome to a new video today, diving into the finale of S1 of Disventure Camp episode 13. The format for this will be simple. Episode recap analysis, positives of EP, negatives of EP, overall thoughts, conclusion, and also note that nothing I state here is hate towards Odd Nation cartoons. They've created a wonderful series. I'm just critiquing it for fun lol. Also, note that this is just my opinion, and if you have a different one, that's completely fine. Everyone has different opinions. In any case, on to the first section, episode recap or analysis.
Even so, I don't regret anything. After I got voted out, I was able to continue things with Will. And now we're dating!
Ashley's the best! She really helped me get over some of my fears!
We start the episode with the recap, intro, and Derek and Trevor introducing the confessionals of the finalists. I really enjoyed this segment. Gave me lots of Survivor vibes. As a Survivor fan, huge W. To recap the CFs, Ellie happy, determined, and sad at the same time. Fiore, these people were horrible and of my short life. Miriam just being an icon, with her determined and ready to win. We see eliminated campers CFs too. Lils was sweet. Wishley is canon. Nick realizes he's not the smartest. Jake is depressed. Tom is angry. Alec is being an icon. We see who's supporting who, and Gret was forced to support somebody help lol. Fiore's mad as expected, and Alec not supporting Fiore shocks her. Honestly, their dynamic just is sad now. Ashley insults Fiore. Miriam's happy at her support. Helpers are chosen. Ellie auto chooses Gabby. Miriam chooses Tom. Fiore is forced to pick Gret with money as a driving force. Fiore says she won't give her a penny. The challenge is then explained, and the finale begins. Miriam and Fiore swiftly make an alliance. Gabby and Ellie have an iconic conversation. Ellie gets her key. The others come, and Fiore says she can't swim. Yet she couldn't. Episode 12. I mean, it's not past Fiore to lie about this anyway. Tom goes to get all their keys. Gret sabotages Ellie. Ellie quickly goes back into the water. Gabby threatens. Gret's so bad she ate Zim though. And I just need to talk about Gabby's expression when Miriam tells them to calm down. She looks like it's the biggest inconvenience. BC she was about to lay even more on Gret than already. Anyway, Tom gets the keys and they get going. Gabby cheers Ellie on. Tom and Miriam talk about Jake. Fiore tells them to talk later. They get their maps. Fiore steals Miriam's. Ellie gets her map, and Fiore tells Gret the plan so she can make finals. Gret remembers how fun it is to be villainous with Fiore. Fiore's plan is in motion. Ashley and Dan comment on how people won't stop falling for Fiore's manipulation. Gabby warns Ellie. Gabby and Ellie run into Tom, Miriam, and Gret, which causes manipulation to be revealed. Fiore is in finals. This next scene was the Ellie defeat. I did not like the way it was handled. More on this will be in the negatives. For those wondering why my opinions have been pretty vague so far, I'm saving them mostly for the positive-negative section. Anyway, Ellie is defeated through Miriam's fake heart attack. Thanks for the correction in the comments, y'all. And Ellie is angry about it. Very fair. Miriam then has a Siri reference. I didn't notice until the rewatch. Siri is a Survivor player. I'm referring to her in Micronesia. Miriam and Fiore are the final two. Final challenge is explained. Miriam tells Tom to watch out for Gret. Gret sabotages Miriam its the way she looks at the camera. Then Tom sabotages back. Y'all also pointed this out in the comments. Remember in episode 1 where Fiore made Tom lose by switching the flags? The foreshadowing there is insane. Anyway, Fiore finishes digging the gasoline out. Gret tells Fiore what cart to use. Miriam gets her gasoline. Fiore is in the lead, but slowly loses it due to the sabotage cart by Tom or Gret. Fiore and Gret argue a bit, and in the meantime Miriam catches up. Fiore, once behind, hits the go-kart, which somehow sends it flying, which gives Fiore the lead for a short amount of time, till she crashes into a tree, which gives Miriam the W. Miriam then is announced the winner, and everyone cheers. Fiore then comes out with asking for help, no one giving it to her. Fiore and Miriam have confessionals. Miriam is given her money. Then the cops show up with Tom like, took you long enough. Trevor and Derek are about to be arrested. Then Derek just does he have that in his pocket at all times or anyway? Gabby proves that if you get on her bad side you are as good as gone. Trevor and Derek are arrested. Then Jensen comes, steals the money. Tom ain't having that whatsoever. We have an epic final battle, with Tom trying to get the money back from Miriam. Then the bus falls off a cliff. We flip to eliminated campers. Drew thinking they died, Lil worried where they gonna stay, Jake worried about Tom, and Fury saying he's dead. Then Tom comes from a cop car. Ashley asks what happened. He says he jumped out before the bus crashed and played a little joke with saying he didn't get the money back. He hands the money back to Miriam, with him saying the cops would pick them all up. Gabby questions this playfully, as she remembers he said he wasn't a cop. It's revealed Tom was hired as a cop, due to the info he gave them. Also, I love this Tom and Gabby dynamic. Legit besties or siblings as y'all point out, which, huge W. Jake didn't destroy his career after all. Speaking of which, the next scene is the best they've been handled this entire show. They both realize their mistakes, leave on good terms, which is all they needed, and it works so much better for them. This is the one time I actually enjoyed them as a pairing, because it was handled, written incredibly well. We flip to Crystal and Oliver, with DCAS being confirmed. This marks the end of the episode. We've still got lots more to dive into, so let's go into the positives of this episode first, then the negatives.
Even so, I don't regret anything. After I got voted out, I was able to continue things with Will. And now we're dating!
Ashley's the best. She really helped me get over some of my fears.
First off, the animation and voice acting as usual is incredible, as expected from Disventure camp. I also love the more Survivor-esque they went with this, with the confessionals and everything. The idea of the losers also getting to say a few things in the finale was great to see. Wishley becoming canon was amazing, though I do wish we got a bit more development, a bit more screen time. For them would have been cool. Also, them bringing back every camper is something I appreciate, like they did last season, as it makes the finale feel much more well-rounded per se. The character dynamics they went for this episode all work well too. There wasn't a moment of this finale that I was bored, which is great, and I have to specially praise the way Jake and Tom were handled here. Speaking of Jake and Tom, the way they ended arcs of Jake, Tom, and Miriam were handled so well. The challenges themselves worked well for the finale, and it was very intense throughout. The subplot end was good, though I do wish a bit more focus was given on the subplot. There was only one instance when I questioned if that character was truly in character, otherwise everyone was their usual selves. Pretty much no derailment in the slightest this episode. The references were done fantastically, and the foreshadowing for certain things, done wonderful. Though I could honestly praise many other aspects, I think I got the main ones out of the way. We will move on to the negatives, which I promise you there isn't much. The finale, in my opinion, was pretty good. Just a few critiques.
Even so, I don't regret anything. After I got voted out, I was able to continue things with Will. And now we're dating!
Ashley's the best. She really helped me get over some of my fears.
Main one that was probably expected by y'all, Ellie's defeat. Something I need to make clear is that I think Miriam is a great winner, and that I know Ellie didn't have to win. It's fine, it's just the way her defeat was handled. Miriam fakes a heart attack, and Ellie comes to check on her. The shovel is yeeted and Miriam goes across the finish line. Firstly, this uses Ellie's heroic side against her. The entire point, from what I've been seeing, of Ellie in these past few episodes, was to make her feel bad for what she's done, and for her to turn back into more of a hero. But no, she risked the $1 million to make sure Miriam, someone in essence she barely knew, to make sure she was alright. And that's where she gets karma on. Not only that, this was easily an avoidable elimination. The challenge required the camper to cross the line with a shovel. Ellie could have just stolen Miriam's, as y'all also pointed out, shovel. And Miriam isn't the best physically, so it would be easy. It feels like a rehash of Ellie becoming more stupid for plot, like in episode 6 where she didn't take Gabby's totem. And I get the shock of it all. Could have affected her judgment. But still, I think the worst part of all of this is Miriam is framed in the right for this. This could also be mostly implied to Ellie's speech in episode 11. However, we are focusing on episode 13 here, so it won't be mentioned too much. She faked a heart attack. I get it was for the game, but still, her having no sort of remorse Ethier feels so out of character for her. And I get it's Ellie of all people, but still, Miriam has also shown to be the kind to never play dirty, and it's up to you whether it's justified or not. However, I wish it was more emphasized of her realizing that the others play dirty and get what they want, so she just did it too. Something to acknowledge this change partially. To defeat Ellie, a better way would be using her villain side against her, instead of using her sympathetic side. That way, she's taught that she needs to be more heroic and regret her actions even more, than be taught that being heartless is the way to go. If she was Fury level evil, she would have won the $1 million in this finale. Plain and simple. Still, there's better ways to give Ellie karma. This was not it. Also, we need to talk about the conclusions of these characters. Yes, Jake, Tom, Miriam all have great conclusions and wrap-ups, but what about the rest? I get some may be coming to DCAS, but some might not, and this being the last time we see them. Bitter taste in my mouth. I think the person who got the most mistreated when it came to character endings is again Ellie. After her defeat, we see her happy with Gabby, but otherwise not much of anything. So she's just going to go back to her horrible life, working dawn to dusk. And I get Ellie isn't the best person known to mankind, but I don't think she deserves such a harsh ending. And even the characters who didn't get a harsh ending, Gabby, Gret, Ashley, Lil, etc., we know nothing of what they will do when the show is over. Compare this to S2, where we know the future of basically everyone. Lake is going to live with Rosa in Mexico. Oliver is now a promoted part of production. James and Aiden will travel the world. Rosa Maria will continue to take care of Sophia. The list goes on and on. With S1, we are basically meant to theorize on our own, which in theory might seem cool, but I wish it was more clear on what's going to happen to all the campers now that the show has ended. Enough of the partial negativity, let's go on to my overall thoughts on the episode.
Even so, I don't regret anything. After I got voted out, I was able to continue things with Will. And now we're dating!
Ashley's the best! She really helped me get over some of my fears!
This episode was a great finale, with though a few missteps along the way. I also didn't mention this yet, but it did feel a bit rushed. When I watch a show, pacing usually isn't my big priority, as long as it's moving along decently. So I don't really care lol, but still wanted to point it out. All round, easily one of the better episodes for Disventure Camp S1. However, I do think several episodes easily beat this one. I'll give it a 7.8, because even if I do think it's great, love the character dynamics, some scenes are absolute gold. I cannot ignore the underlying somewhat unsatisfying conclusion of most of the given characters and Ellie's defeat. But anyways, how did you enjoy the finale? Would love to hear your opinions in the comments below. Anyway, on to the conclusion of the video.
Even so, I don't regret anything. After I got voted out, I was able to continue things with Will. And now we're dating!
Ashley's the best! She really helped me get over some of my fears!
Still cannot believe S1 is already over. Time really did fly by fast. Thank you all so much for watching this episode, analysis of the DCS1 finale. I still cannot wait for DCAS. In any case, I'll see ya next time. Have a wonderful day or night.